Hello again, and welcome back. Um, Hellhound here, and last time I reviewed the excellent action sci-fi 1981 masterpiece directed by John Carpenter, Escape from New York. And I said I was going to make another video reviewing the sequel, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here we are, Escape from L.A. This was released like 15 years after the original. This came out in like 96. Yeah, 96. So yeah, it's 15 years later. It also takes place 16 years later in the year 2013, which was a couple years ago in reality. But John Carpenter returned to direct. Kurt Russell returned to star as the badass of badasses, Snake Plissken, and you get even more of him in this movie. I think he goes all out with the character, without straying from who he's supposed to be, or whatever. He doesn't go out of character. He stays in character, but goes a little further in the role, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, well, let's dig right in. So it's almost like the same basic premise. But this movie has got a much bigger budget. It's more action packed. There's more explosions. As I said, there's way more, just more and more and more. It's definitely not better. The first movie was, more atmospherical and more serious. The first movie was dark and realistic and gritty and just felt like a nightmare. But it was just so awesome. This movie's definitely a little more fantasy oriented. It ups the action, it ups the explosions. Snake Plissken's a little more. He's still cool as hell, still badass, but he has a little more one-liners and wisecracks. He's a little more colorful this time around, as is the rest of the movie. It's not as dark and realistic. It's not as serious. It's a little more fun, a little more cornball. Bigger budget, but cheesier. In a big way, but I still love it. I'll never understand the hate this movie gets. I think it's an excellent sequel, and I think it was the right direction to go. Even sometimes it may feel like more of a parody than a sequel. It kind of feels like a spoof of the first film. The premise is almost the same, the setup, the format, but I don't care. I don't mind seeing more of the same because the first movie was so great. Why I stray too far from it? But it does. It has a completely different feel. The dark, atmospherical tone of the first movie is replaced in more of a lighter, funnier, more action-oriented, colorful tone. But anyway, the premise is that Los Angeles, California, has been made into an island separate from the rest of the United States due to an earthquake, which happened, I believe, shortly after the events of Escape from New York, where Snake Plissken came in, rescued the president, killed all kinds of bad guys, kicked a lot of ass, and then made a mockery of the United States by destroying the super secret, super important tape that he was supposed to retrieve. He gives them the wrong tape, which plays some classic music, and he destroys the real one. And that's how the movie ended. It was just hilarious. It was just awesome. Snake is just like the ultimate anarchist. He just gave a big middle finger to the whole country, which in these movies has become a very corrupt, almost evil system, and even more so in this one. In this one, the president's almost like the villain, played by Cliff Robertson this time. Donald Pleasance sadly, I think, passed away at this point, because he was in Curse of Michael Myers, which came out in 95. I think he passed away during filming. Anyway, the president this time is played by Cliff Robertson. His daughter, the president's daughter, actually retrieves this black box containing a top secret weapon that could, be detrimental to the future of the human race. She grabs it and she escapes into L.A., which I said has become an island where they deport all the people who have lost their rights to live in the rest of the country. I'm not really sure what happened in New York City from the original film. They don't really they reference it a few times, but I don't think they really explain it. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I need to rewatch this again. I don't know. But anyway, Los Angeles is now much like New York City in the first film, just a cesspool of crime and just, scumbags who just pollute the streets and just wage war on each other and just, they're in their own little world, just tearing it apart, And so, yeah, she escapes to the black box. She's somewhere in L.A. The president, along with Stacy Keach's character, he's like a general. I can't remember the character's name, but he's really cool, and I've always liked Stacy Keach. Yeah, they employ, along with Michelle Forbes, too. I really liked her. I've always liked her. She played the villain in the second season of True Blood, which is one of my favorite TV series. And she was in a few other good movies. But anyway, yeah, the three of them employ Snake Plissken, who's screwed up with the law yet again, even after his victory, his heroic rescuing of the president, 15 years earlier. They employ him to go retrieve the black box, and the president even tells Snake to kill his daughter. That's right. He wants he wants his own daughter dead, which is just, So as I said, the president kind of feels like the evil one this time. Even though the main villain of the movie is a guy named Cuervo Jones. I believe the actor's name, George Corifus, maybe. Or that might be somebody else. I don't know. Anyway, the main villain's Cuervo Jones. And I actually like him a little better than Isaac Hayes as the Duke in the first movie. Cuervo Jones is a little more charismatic, a little more fleshed out. You still hate him. You still want him to die. But yeah, I think he just had more dialogue and a little more of a setup. He was a little more complex of a character than the Duke. In the first movie, he just kind of stood around and looked intimidating. But... yeah, anyway, that's the basic plot. Snake Plissken must once again work reluctantly for the government and go on a mission. They've injected him with a virus that's slowly attacking his nervous system. He's going to die in like 10 hours. So it's very similar to the first movie. Very similar setup. It's almost the same. You can replace, this character with that character. Just Lee Van Cleef's character is now Stacy Keach's character. Donald Pleasant's character from the first film is now Cliff Robertson's character. It just goes on and on and on. But I don't care. I don't care because it's awesome seeing more of Snake Plissken kick ass and even go surfing. That's right. You ever want to see Snake Plissken, played by Kurt freaking Russell, go surfing? He goes surfing in this movie with Peter Fonda. How cool is that? That's just awesome. Also joining the cast are Steve Buscemi, who's always been a favorite of mine. Always loved him. And Pam Grier, who plays like a... I'm not even really sure. She's supposed to be like a transvestite or something. I don't know. I never really understood that part, but apparently she betrayed Snake in the past, just like the character of Brain did in the original Harold. So yeah, there's a lot very similar. It almost feels like a big budget, more action-packed, less serious, satirical remake of the first film. And that's probably what would eventually happen if John Carpenter hadn't returned and made his own sequel to it, which he did here. Yeah, Snake is back. That says it all. The eye patch wearing, submachine gun toting, trench coat wearing badass is back to wreak even more havoc. And this movie has a lot more of him doing cool stuff. Even hang gliding at one point as well. But yeah, and also one thing I liked more about this, about this movie than the original is you really feel Los Angeles shine through. I mean, it shows Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and even shows a Universal Studios sign, which is like demolished. It's like underwater, because Snake gets to the island in a sub at the beginning, and Los Angeles really shines through. I never thought that New York City was really that prominent in the original film, but you can't really fault it. The original film was a lot more low budget. It felt like it was early 80s, but it felt really late 70s. But and yes, the first film is better. It's more atmospherical. It's more grounded in reality. It's more serious. It's a little more, after you watch it, you kind of feel like, wow, like you're a little moved by it, and you kind of like, huh, it makes you think. This movie just makes you laugh. It just makes you go, whoa, and it's very, very different tone. It's so similar, but it's like so different at the same time. But the important thing is that Kurt Russell's back as Snake, and he's cooler than ever. He's just awesome. More wisecracks, more one-liners. Just more awesome scenes of him kicking ass. And yes, some scenes are more the same, just replace the wrestling scene from the first movie with a basketball scene in this one, but who cares? It's all fun, it's highly entertaining. I would consider this one a very, very good, very well-made sequel, an 8 out of 10. It probably really deserves a 7, but I'm going to give it an 8, because I think it's just almost just as good as the original. Probably more entertaining. Maybe not as emotional and dramatic and heartfelt or moving. Not as compelling, but definitely, definitely has your eyes glued to the screen and never lets up, much like the first film. But yeah, in my opinion, Escape from LA is a more than worthy sequel. It's really unfortunate we didn't get a third film. I would have loved to have been a trilogy. I want to see more of Snake Plissken. Even if he's not going on a mission or escaping from somewhere or rescuing something or retrieving some device, we could see more of them. See more of the character. Look no further than the Snake Plissken Chronicles comic book series. And I think there's another one called Adventures in New York or something. I don't know. But, it would have been nice to see another movie. There was an independent film, Escape from New Jersey, which I think also had a sequel, but I saw clips from it. It didn't really work for me. And now they're talking about a remake. Ooh, Hollywood. Ooh, how you disappoint me. It makes me like seeing the Hollywood sign in flames in this movie. Sorry, I didn't say that. But, why remake it? Why not make a third movie? Oh, Kurt Russell's too old. No, he's not. Does Snake Plissken, can he not age? It can take place now. It's still be in an alternate reality, still in a dystopian future. Hell, Kurt Russell still looks pretty young for his age. Yeah, he's got some gray going on. If that's really a problem, dye his hair back to brown. I wouldn't mind seeing a gray-haired, aging, seasoned Snake Plissken, as kind of a veteran, missionary badass, but, just, they have plenty of action heroes coming back, look at Rambo and Indiana Jones, hell, we're even going to see, all the original Star Wars cast in Episode 7, which I'm stoked for, just absolutely thrilled, can barely contain my excitement on that one, but that's another story. A lot of aged, a lot of action heroes, and Kurt Russell's actually younger than all those other ones, he's younger than most of them. Arnold Schwarzenegger can still play the Terminator, in his early 60s. So why the hell not? Kurt Russell can play Snake Plissken again. And he'll be just as badass as he was in these two excellent movies, which I highly recommend. Apparently there was a proposed storyline for a third film. It was going to be called Escape from Earth. Spoiler alert, by the way. Spoiler alert. At the end of this movie, Snake shuts down all the power, all the electricity, sets the Earth back, 500 years into the past, basically, back to a Victorian era, shutting down all computers around the world, all technology, after he sees the corruption of, the president and, all the world leaders. He sees what the world's becoming, and so he says, why not start all over again? So yeah, a logical direction would have been like Escape from Earth. And I even hear there was going to be mutants or aliens or something. That would have been, I thought that would have been pretty cool. It would definitely up to the sci-fi angle of the movies. It's still been an awesome action film. I think what was the proposed third film eventually went through rewrites and became Ghosts of Mars, I guess. And whatever. It would have been great to have had a trilogy, and, I can only dream. Maybe someday they'll come to our senses and say, you know what, screw a remake. That'll piss off the fans. Nobody can replace Snake. Nobody can replace John Carpenter. It'd be great if John Carpenter returned to give us one last film. There's a lot of other films I'd like to see him do as well, too. But, a third Escape movie would definitely be more than welcome. At least by me. I know a lot of people didn't like LA for whatever reason. It wasn't the same thing as the first. Oh, it was too similar to the first. You can't win with sequels. But I would love to see an Escape from Earth or Escape from Chicago or something, Just make a part 3 already. Come on. Don't do a remake. Make a trilogy. That would be awesome. But anyway, I'm rambling again like I always do. I'll go ahead and conclude this review, but definitely check out both of these movies. You won't be disappointed. Yep, Escape from L.A. Great sequel to a great movie, Escape from New York. Both great films, and sadly there's only 2 movies, but they're still great. Kurt Russell's great. John Carpenter's great. Snake Plissken's an awesome character, one of my favorite badass action heroes ever, and I'd love to see more of him, but until we actually get a 3rd film, which probably isn't happening, I guess we still got the comic books and novelizations. So, alright, well, I'm Hellhound, and thank you for watching my video and listening to my mindless ramblings. So, until next time, and rock on. See you guys.